In the last lesson, we were building out our navigation, and we had attached a particular set of styling to any hyperlink. But the real problem with this is that what if we have another hyperlink here? So we have something going somewhere entirely different, and it's actually not going to fit in with our navigation. Maybe there's a link here to find out more about this particular piece of text, and we go back out and we refresh it and we say, uh-oh, now that's not what we need. We don't want to have the same as our navigation here at the top. We don't want to have this navigation button down here. So what we have to do is we have to actually nest this particular set of styling information into the navigation bar. And the way that we can do this is we do this kind of two-piece selection where we do navigation bar, but the A is only going to apply to anything that's contained within this parent. So now when we go back out here, we see that this has gone back to default HTML because it no longer fits and matches our selection here that we've specified within our styling code. So all we have here, we've got nav, it has to be the top level parent, and any anchor text or hyperlinks that are contained within there is going to take these values and these properties. And again, you have to be careful when you are doing nesting, because if we have something like this and we're attaching additional just general styling to any hyperlinks, and I'm just going to make it, we'll make it pink so that it's really visible. So now all of our hyperlinks anywhere on the page are going to be pink with a pink background, and we see that this is actually taking even our image hyperlink over here, our hyperlink. Interesting thing is it didn't get to the navigation yet, but if we do something like this, and we specify that all the hyperlinks need to be pink, it's important, it's actually going to override this specific selector. But because when we're only doing the hyperlinks and we've got a more specific selector here, this actually overrides it, even though this hyperlink is placed afterwards. And that's another thing to remember when you're thinking about the order that you're presenting your hyperlinks and your CSS styling, is that if you've got a nested value, then it's going to actually take precedence over this value. But when we add important, again, important is going to override and trump all of these other ones that might be set somewhere else. And just like it was important was overriding even when we had an inline style attribute, we can see here that now once again all of our hyperlinks are turning pink. So this is the reason why we use nesting, and also we're always going to be really mindful of how we're actually doing that selection of any particular element and tag within CSS, because we want to make sure that we're not overriding it at any point. So even though this is okay, this might not be the best way to present backgrounds. You might want to be a little bit more specific down here as well, so that if you did have a container or something else, so we do have ID container, so maybe a better way to present this one would be we do that container first, and then we represent those A tags. And now when I refresh it, we're back to where we were before with those hyperlinks. And now even if I do important, it should only be important for the ones that meet that nested criteria, and sort them out. So it's not overriding my navigation menu, and that's something to always keep in mind, that what's going to overwrite something else within styling, and keeping things separated and nesting particular selections is going to be a great way to really isolate out and apply this styling to those particular and intended elements within your HTML code.